Oh, there she is. Hello strangers, I'm Ravenna and this is my TBR for the StrangeAthon. The StrangeAthon is a read-a-thon that I host with a bunch of other cool people this session. It will be taking place from the 13th to the 31st of October, so real soon. This year we're doing trick-or-treating in teams. And I am Team Undead, the unquestioned queen. Best not question me. So let's begin my TBR. The first challenge is Halloween Icon, which is to read something that has something iconic to Halloween on it. I'll be reading Trick or Treat by Jackson Sharp. Second challenge is Darken Path, read a book with an unreliable narrator. I will be reading Rebecca by Daphne de Moore. Color of a Copse, read a book with one of the following colours. So this is a colour-based challenge and I'm choosing to read Crooked Kingdom by Leah Bear, which is quite a thing because I haven't actually read the first book in this series yet, but I will explain in a bit. Truth or Myth, read a book on a historical event, and I'm going to be reading Copse by Lauren Purcell. This isn't based on a historical event. This is what I've got on my TBR, but now that I think about it, this might not be based on a historical event. So that should be fun. The Stella Special, read a book with part of a skeleton on the cover. For this, I will be reading The Company of Death. I have a really bad habit of not putting any audiobooks into my TBRs, but I am always reading an audiobook, so that's kind of silly. So I'll be listening to this on audiobook. Teammates, read a book with your team in it. Obviously my team is Team Undead, so I need to read a book with the undead in it. And I'm obviously going to read the good book, which is The Haunting on Hill House by Shirley Jackson. Please feel free to join me in reading this book, even if you're not part of Team Undead. So that's all the undead challenges, but because I am your queen, I'm going to go extra hard, and I have a TBR that includes all the challenges. I probably won't read all these books, but who knows? For the cabin, I'm reading The Girl from the Well, which is the witch's good book. For bone chilling, which is to read a book outside your comfort zone, I'm reading The Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, based on the fact I don't read a lot of historical fantasy. Tales from the Grave, which is to read a short story collection. I've got a few options, but I'm probably going to read Tales from the Haunted Mansion, Volume 1, because I love the Haunted Mansion, so let's see what they've wrote about her. Haunted, read a book from your TBR that you're intimidated by, and I'm putting Night School Legacy by C.J. Dante. Basically, this book has been on my TBR for years, and one day I will read it just on principle now. Even if I stop being invested by the story, I'm going to still read it, because I put this on so many different TBRs, so it probably means I'm not going to read it this StrangeAthon, but someday I will. No matter what happens, I will someday read that book just on principle. Nostalgic Synth, read a book in a different decade. I'm going to read my best friend's Exorcist, which is set in the 80s, and I think a little part of it takes place like the current day, but actually it might have been last decade, so it's like 2 different decades. Missing Hands, read a book with a hand on the cover. So this one did inspire this challenge, so obviously I would read this if I get around to it. Grim Retelling, I would read Ashes by Miranda Lowe, which is a Cinderella retelling, I believe. Apocalyptic Omen, read a book with an end of the world scenario. I would read Not a Drop to Drink, which is about there being hardly water, I think. I'm not quite sure if this is completely apocalyptic or if it's just dystopian. So, we'll see. Witching Hour, which is a read a book with the supernatural. I put Teeth in the Mist by Dawn Cutchin. I'm not completely sure exactly how this is supernatural, but on Twitter today she did say there was vampires in this, and I'm like, well, now I definitely have to make time to read this book, because I was really excited about this book and I still haven't read it, which is always what happens to me. Like, I'll be so excited about a book and then it'll take me years to actually read it. Witching Hour, which is to read a book with a deadline. I'm reading Six of Crows by Libba Bay. I'm actually going to a Libba Bay signing, and like I've read the Grisha trilogy and I really loved it, and these are like the two books that I haven't read by her. Nine House is out, but I'm gonna be picking up like this exclusive edition at the signing, so if I want to read it now, I have to buy another copy, and I'm like, do I do that? Is that too much? I mean, I actually do own 2 copies of one of the Grisha trilogy books, but I forget which one. I know I do. I own a special edition of the first book in the Grisha trilogy because it was purple, and that's fun. Six of Crows has been talked up as being a heist book, so if it's a heist, there'll be a deadline of where things have to go right or wrong. Like, because other heist movies tend to have deadlines, so this should count. The box, read a book with Michelle. I'm going to read I Found You by Lisa Drew, who's a thriller writer that I really like. And for Urban Legends, I'm going to read Say My Name by Juno Dawson, which is a Bloody Mary kind of retelling thing. So that should be fun. So that is my TBR for the Strange-A-Thon. If you've done a TBR for the Strange-A-Thon, please comment down below and I'll check it out. There's actually a playlist full of everyone's TBRs and all the video recommendations that I did for the Strange-A-Thon. So if you do a TBR, please feel free to add it to that playlist. Or you can just tell me down in the comments what your TBR is. So I will see you readers next time where the trick-or-treating will really begin. Farewell. Oh no, the family pose went buddy again. That's such a lame joke. I hope that hasn't been unfocused for this whole thing because I'll be mad. I actually have time to film more. Do I film more? Do you know what? I'll film more if I can find the lavender candles.